Welcome back to Bluegrass Dreams to Seams. My name is Cheryl. If this is the first time you've checked in with me, my channel is mostly about sewing and sometimes I throw in a little bit about knitting. What I like to sew usually tends to be a little more complicated, but I am trying to tone that down and make some simple garments and throw in every now and then the more complicated. I do like things with a little bit of more detail to them than just your basic. Although two of my tops are more basic, one tends to be with more details. So that's the kind of seamstress I am. I won't, I don't think I know everything. I'll be frank with you, I don't. I've been sewing for over 50 years and I'm still learning techniques. There are actually new techniques in the third tee that I have never used. So I'll be going through those kind of carefully and steadily as I progress through that garment. It is not sewn together yet, but it will be by the end of the day. Okay, the first tee took me 2 days to make. I have made it before. I knew what kind of things I would run into, where my slowdown areas were. And this is a Catherine Tilton Butterick pattern 6218. I've made this a couple of times now. Each time I tend to do something a little bit different. This time I decided on the neckband, instead of doing it the way I always did, I chose to do it in one of the ways she said in the pattern. And I don't regret that, not with this particular knit. Now, if it was like one of the other two, I probably would have gone ahead and done it the way I prefer to do it. Okay, so with that said, there are a couple of things that I think people probably wouldn't like about this pattern. I'm going to point out an obvious one right now. There is this piece that hangs down in the back here. That's kind of blurry. And it is not center back. So I'm going to point out on this one how you could probably take that out, but you'll need to take care of a side seam at the same time. So we'll point that out where you can take that out. The pattern is just so cute and so creative with the stripes and the different variations that you can do with it. So just kind of look there and then look on the back at the different things you can do. So color blocking is definitely something I've wanted to do with this one. I have not. And I like this one that's got the panel with the stripes. I think that's really cute. Now, my blue is a broken block sort of design stripe. This is with the grain cut. On this side, it's asymmetrical. And this side is cut this way. So you can see, if you look at the blue blocks, you can definitely see that they're cut differently. This has this nice folded over panel here. The seam line for these two is actually right in here, and then you fold this side over, and it's about 1.5 inches fold over, and the buttons just add some detail, although I wished I had a pretty blue button there. That's the only thing. I did stitch this in white because I did not want any blue thread to interfere with the eye. So I wanted this block, and you can really see now that I pointed it out, you can see this is up and down, this is cross grain. Now on the back, you get to play with diagonal. There are 4 panels that make up the back. There's a small one right here, and you can see it's going sideways. This one's up and down. This one's going cross grain. And then there's one down here because it's cut at an angle like this, and it's going cross grain again. So then you've got that vent in the back, if I can get this. You see that right there. And I think I'm going to tack this to the corner. Not right on the edge, but like about like that. Where it'll look something like that on the back. I know you can't see that. If you wanted to take that out, where you didn't have this piece hanging down here and you wanted it more even, you would need to take care of this side seam, bringing this one on down to about the level of this one on the front. I just think that if you're going to get rid of that, you'd want to do that. So I've never altered this pattern anyway, but if I was, that would be one of the things I would probably do. Enough said about this one. It's a great pattern. It fits well. I'm going to show a video right here of that top, me wearing it. So here I am. This is my first make. This is about the third or fourth time I've made this Catherine Tilton pattern. This is more or less pretty straight in the front. The pleat pretty much releases as you go down, which is kind of nice to have. It is, again, off the shoulder. The seam allowance is right here where the sleeves are attached, and that is intentional. It's like that little pattern. The back, hopefully you can see, it does come down at an angle on one side, and it does have that kind of a coat style vent in the back. I did better this time with that. I really watched closely about all my points and that sort of thing, markings to match up. So I'm happy with it. I bought this pattern last summer at Silk Road Textiles with the intention of using it for what I saw made up in their store. And at first, I thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use a different pattern. Well, when I laid it out, I changed my mind. That was in my last video. I did end up going back to this pattern. Now, I have notes written all over the front of this thing now. One of the things is this pattern is extremely long. A couple more inches and it would have been a dress on me. I'm 5'7". I took off 4 inches off before I hemmed it. It has a 5/8 inch hem in it. This is very figure hugging. Now I added in, because this is the biggest size I could cut was an 18. So the shoulders and everything was fine. I usually cut everything in 18 up here, and I usually go 20 down here. Well, I added in an extra seam allowance. So an extra, this allowed for a 1/4 inch. So an extra 1/4 inch to 3/8. I just eyeballed it. Hello. I thought since I had this on, I would just go ahead and model it. So you can see the neck edge lays the way it should. I did pair it with my green jacket. This I bought years ago from Chico's. When I used to work at the high school, I wore a lot of denim jackets because it tended to be a little cold. And so I would always wear a jacket. That way I could at least take it off if I got too hot. This I'm wearing tucked in with jeans tonight. I have worn it untucked, but I feel like that I probably should have just cut off 3 inches instead of 4. I cut off 4 inches. I should have cut off 3, split the difference. It's fine for tucking in, but that extra inch would have been helpful for wearing it outside over like an elasticized pant. So I'm thinking now I probably should have just done 3 inches. But I do love it. It's very comfortable. I love the 3/4 sleeve length. It's perfect. It fits great all through here. I feel like the fit is fine. And I'm very, very pleased. So love this tee, and I think I'll really enjoy wearing it. So if you want to try a pattern, I could highly recommend this one. Now my final one is cut out but not made. I'll get it made today, and I want to talk about it. I was really torn between which one to do. This is a Sew House 7 called Toaster Sweaters. I loved this soft version here. You can tell it's kind of got like a sweater type feel to it. And this one has this low funnel neck. This one has a higher neck. This one has more pieces. This one, 3 pieces. A front, a back, and sleeve. So here's my third make. This is my Sew House 7 funnel neck sweater. It's called a toaster sweater. And I have a few things I want to say. I love the fit. The fit is great. Armhole construction, side seam, all that stuff went great. There's not a lot of pieces to this pattern, but I'm not 100% happy with the way the funnel turned out. And I'm not sure what I did wrong either. The directions to me were not super clear. I found them a little confusing because I was like, do I really want to place this in place before I do these seams? And I was just torn. So I did the seams first, and then I finished trying to press this in place. Now I was using this Heat and Bond stretchy tape here, made for knits. And according to the back of the directions, I followed these. You press it down, peel the paper off. It stuck great. I was so happy. I thought this is going to work. Folded it over, and I pressed and pressed and pressed, and it wouldn't stick. So I don't know. I was just so confused. Even during construction, I would think maybe the iron will be hotter. I've been using it. Press it again. I really pushed down, and I even got my clapper out. Nothing. Just flap right back. Just come right off. Acted like, and by that point, I guess the glue it wasn't going to adhere. And so that's okay. It doesn't work. Maybe not for this fabric. Maybe it's I don't know. I have no idea. It says it's made for knits. This is a knit, but for some reason it didn't work for me. So I have trouble with getting this in place. What I finally ended up doing at the end was using some stitch witchery. I put a small piece here in the front and one in the back, and it's at least holding that in place for right now. The other issue I had was when I went to go do the mitered square directions that they had for the bottom of the shirt, or the top. It's right here, 1/4 inch seam no intake, and it should look like this when you fold it back over. Well, mine looked like it wanted to fold in the corner, but I had a lot of fabric here. So what I decided to do was take a 3/8 on the raw edge part and go down to a 1/4 inch on the folded side. And that seemed to work better for me. Everything else about the construction of this went great. The sleeves just fell right into place. They were so easy to put in. The side seam, all this is one seam. I like that when they do that. And the hem does not look bad once I got the mitered square problem figured out for me. That is this. It is longer in the back. You can see right there, it's longer in the back than in the front. But it is comfortable, and I'm wearing everything with jeans today so I can model it. But I'm happy. That's a wrap on this video. 3 makes in one video. I think that's a first for me. I've never done that before. But I really did have a good time, and it was kind of a little bit of a challenge. I really had to stay on my game to get, especially that first one made in just a few days. But if you have any suggestions about things I might try with this neckline, let me know. I will be asking my ASG friends, of course, if they have any suggestions of things I might do, even though it's already finished. I think it could still be better. But I hope you enjoyed this. I may be trying this a little bit more, videos this style where I talk about my plans and then go into a week of trying to meet all those plans that I have set for myself. So next week, that will be what I will do again. I'm going to spend some time here, a few days, just trying to figure out what that's going to be. I will probably overshoot it just a little bit. I want to do the Sew Frugal Challenge, so that's going to be one thing thrown in there, and as well as 2 or 3 other things. So I just have to see what I think I can reasonably get done in a week. So that is what you can look forward to. But have a great weekend, and I hope to see you again next week. Please join me, and please share with your friends. Let them know, and maybe I'll get a few more subscribers. Thank you. Bye.